Tisha Bader with Shalom TV's news update. In light of the recent terror attacks on Israeli targets in India, Georgia, and Thailand, and the most recent fatal attack on the Jewish school in Toulouse, Israel's Counter-Terrorism Bureau has issued renewed travel warnings to Israelis planning to go abroad for the Passover holiday in a few weeks. The advisory states that upcoming Jewish holidays, which also include Lag BaOmer and Israel Independence Day, quote, are liable to provide incentive for terrorists around the world to attack Israeli and Jewish targets abroad. Further saying, quote, Iran and Hezbollah are stepping up their efforts to perpetrate additional attacks. The warning specifically mentions Egypt and Jordan as having, quote, concrete terrorist threats, and added Turkey to the regular list of countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, Pakistan, and Mali, whose terror threat is high as well. The advisory also repeated permanent calls for Israelis traveling abroad to remain alert. The Jerusalem Post reports that Interior Minister and Shas Chairman Eli Yishai has asked Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to reconsider his decision to send a senior diplomat to next week's J Street convention, saying of J Street, quote, this organization is not pro-Israel. It is more similar to organizations that have a goal of harming the state. The organization is at the very least pro-Palestinian, acting systematically against the state of Israel, its army, and its citizens. Yishai said that sending Baruch Bina to speak at the controversial lobby in Washington would only legitimize J Street, which calls itself pro-Israel and pro-peace. The Iron Dome Support Act was presented at the U.S. Congress yesterday by U.S. House Foreign Affairs Committee Ranking Member Democrat Howard Berman and co-sponsored by Foreign Affairs Committee Chairwoman Republican Ileana Ros-Lehtinen. The legislation would allow President Obama to authorize further assistance for the, quote, procurement, maintenance, and sustainment of the Iron Dome system upon request by the Israeli government. The bipartisan bill came shortly after Israel's ambassador to the U.S., Michael Oren, published an op-ed piece in Politico addressing the need for 10 more Iron Dome batteries, which are used to intercept incoming missiles and rockets from Gaza, and have been successful in doing so in 85% of rocket attacks in Israel. The Jewish Week reports that a storm is brewing in Brooklyn regarding the proposed boycott by the borough's Park Slope Food Co-op of all Israeli products. The multicultural co-op will vote next Tuesday on whether to formally join the BDS movement by implementing a boycott that would pull products made in Israel from their shelves. At present, the co-op is split in two, a pro-BDS group and an anti-BDS group. The co-op's pro-BDS group states on their website that, quote, we think that joining the BDS movement will help send a message to Israel that it must honor international law and human rights. The anti-BDS members of the food co-op state on their website that BDS really stands for, quote, bigotry, dishonesty, and anti-Semitism. Harvard Law professor Alan Dershowitz agrees. Speaking to Business Insider, Dershowitz referred to the pro-BDS co-op members saying, quote, many are anti-Semites, adding that many of them don't know that they're anti-Semites, but, quote, that doesn't give them a pass. Shalom TV will continue to follow this issue. A recent Jewish agency poll shows the vast majority of Israelis value a strong relationship with Jews in the diaspora. The poll, which showed that 75% of Israelis feel that Jews across the globe are mutually responsible for one another, was released to mark the launch on Tuesday of the agency's new initiative, the Jewish World Caucus. The caucus is made up of 40 members of Israel's Knesset from across the political spectrum, whose goal it will be to strengthen and deepen the bonds between the Jewish diaspora and Israel through legislation and dialogue. Kadima party member Nachman Shai said at the caucus, quote, we hope to send a message that ties between Israel and the diaspora are paramount. Likud chairman Zev Elkin said, the Jewish World Caucus is more important today than ever before, citing the recent attack in Toulouse, which he said was, quote, shocking proof that the fate of world Jewry is the same as that of Jews in Israel, regardless of where they live. The caucus will seek to encourage mutual involvement and to strengthen the relationship. Israel's Minister of Public Diplomacy and Diaspora Affairs, Yuli Edelstein, said, I welcome the establishment of the caucus and believe that the work that it will do will not only bring world Jewry closer to Israel, but also bring Israelis closer to world Jewry. And that's Shalom TV's news update. I'm Tisha Bader.